Please tell me that as a Gen Z that just recently graduated college, that there are going to be other people that feel this way too. With how the economy has been and with what our parents and grandparents told us for almost our whole lives of like, hey, go to college, get a degree, you'll get a great paying job, you'll have this amazing, fantastical life.
Every generation faces their struggles. The greatest generation had the war, the boomers had Vietnam, Gen X had the boom of the internet, and I guess millennials also had the financial crisis to deal with. But the Gen Z generation is an interesting generation because they have seen so much due to social media and the access to information that the internet's brought, that they feel like they have a better grasp of understanding what's going on in society, and they can see things through a wider lens. Now, does this lens lead to favorable outcomes? You let me know down below in the comment section, but it does look like a lot of them are waking up to what's happening in society, and they don't want to be participants in any way. Let's watch some videos and talk about it in today's video.
I thought being in your early 20s was like supposed to be fun. I see all these bitches having so much fucking fun. I am miserable to my core, miserable. What the fuck? This shit sucks. I'm suing whoever told me that this was supposed to be the most fun time in my life, because it is not. Definitely not. Not even close.
20s is not supposed, well, I mean, it could be fun depending on what generation you're in, to be honest, and how easy the outcomes are for you. But in the Gen Z generation, they've realized how bad the job situation is, housing crisis, the economy, wars, all the access to information bombarding them every day with negative stuff, and they feel like this is supposed to be the era of my life where I'm supposed to feel as good as possible. But there's a lot of stress now. Before, you didn't have college tuitions costing so much. You had affordability to an extent. The job market was okay. You didn't have to go into debt just to be able to get a job that can only get you to pay your rent and not really put a down payment on a house. So of course they're going to feel overwhelmed. This is supposed to be the greatest time of your life in your 20s. And a lot of them feel like there's a sense of impending dread and they just want no part in society.
Y'all, you know what's actually really crazy? The fact that every single one of us were gaslit into thinking that we were hormonal, angry teenagers that wanted to lock ourselves away in our room every day. But really, now that I think about it, I think we locked ourselves away because we didn't want to be around parents who were emotionally draining, emotionally abused us, and expected us to take care of their emotions all the time. But I can be completely wrong because we all grew up with different parents, so I want to know what you think.
Well, that angst could also have something to do with you feeling that dread of going out into the world and making something for yourself when the world is shifting so fast. You think about what technology's done in the last decade or so, those jumps in advancements are putting a lot of jobs at risk. So not only is there no real purpose for like spending your time to devote yourself to a career when the outcome is pretty grim. You're not really going to have that dream, that American dream or Canadian dream, North American dream, depending on where you're watching, if you're in Canada or United States. It's getting harder and harder to achieve that. So what is the point? A lot of Gen Zs are asking what the point is, especially this individual.
Please tell me that as a Gen Z that just recently graduated college, that there are going to be other people that feel this way too. With how the economy has been and with what our parents and grandparents told us for almost our whole lives of like, hey, go to college, get a degree, you'll get a great paying job, you'll have this amazing, fantastical life. And now they flip the switch on us, and now that's something that is almost impossible for our generation and even millennials as well, and the future generations like the alpha generation.
Do you know how little of my friends actually own homes? I'm in my mid-30s, and the amount of my friends who own property, I could probably count them maybe in 3 fingers. That's about it. Out of all my friends that I've made throughout college, high school, and in my adult life, that's it. And it's going to get worse generation to generation. Gen Alpha is in for a real surprise when they hit that time period of their life.
I am so hopeless as a Gen Z with the fact that with my student loans, which are over $100,000 because college is that expensive, I can't even afford to move to, a new city and a new state that I dreamed of doing after graduating college with, a solid paying job. I now have no choice but to move back home with my parents and live with them for several years to save up money. But then in reality, what money will I be saving when I'll have to be paying $1,100 every month for my student loan payments because I owe over $100,000 in student loan debt? How am I supposed to even live a life? How am I even supposed to have a solid paying job where I can afford to both pay off my student loan debt payments every month and also eventually afford my own place when the average rent for most cities and places are at least $1,500 for a single bedroom apartment? Let alone, don't even get me started on how worried I am that I won't even have a future, that I'm just going to be slaved away in America working until the day I die, right? Because they want to increase retirement to 70 years old, with healthcare not even really being affordable anymore for most Americans. I don't even see hopes of me owning a house. I don't even see how I can. I don't even have hopes of me of raising children, or even let alone being able to afford a single child, because the economy has gotten so bad to the point where people can't even afford to get the basic essentials for their family and for themselves. So I, as a Gen Z, feel absolutely hopeless, and something needs to change. So as with me being a 22-year-old and any Gen Zs or millennials or future generations that watch this, we need to make a change. Our vote is gonna make the difference, as half of Gen Z are going to be half of the voters. We really need to make a change. And I'm really hoping that we have a brighter future, because right now it's looking real grim.
Oh, it's looking real grim, but also, if you think that just voting is going to solve everything, that's a wake-up call that you are going to not be ready for, because there is a lot of issues that are deeply ingrained into society right now, and there is definitely a greed factor, but it's just the fact that we've had interest rates high for so long, and we've been living on low interest rates. Now the interest rates have went up by a little bit. It's caused so much financial damage that the effects on the generations that are trying to save money for a future or get higher paying jobs, they're looking at everything from an outside perspective and saying, this is insane. There's no way we can actually keep going this way, in this direction. How are we supposed to repopulate the earth if we can't afford kids? Or maybe, and a dark thought might be, maybe that is part of the point. Maybe with AI and automation coming, that can be eliminating a lot of jobs. Maybe there's less need, and that's a scary thought. And it's a thought I don't even want to go down in this video. We can talk about it maybe in another video down the road, but a lot of people are waking up, and some people feel like their whole generation is trapped.
Gen Z just don't want to work anymore, do they? That could not be farther from the truth. Gen Z is actually one of the smartest and most intuitive generations that we have. We realize that the 40-hour work week is not getting them the ability to afford basic necessities. What is the motivation to work 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week if you can't even afford rent? Like, nobody wants to just continue to work and work and work and not be able to pay their bill. They're looking for innovative ways to start businesses and make money online because they're trying to hack the system which is not serving them, by the way. They're not a lazy generation. They're just tired. Eventually, there needs to be a change, or there's going to be a big problem as far as filling jobs, because Gen Z just doesn't want to do it. And the ones that do want to work hard can't get a break with layoffs. Make it make sense.
And that's what I was talking about. You're looking at things through an outside perspective, and you're being able to see everything because of social media, everything online. Again, the information age is bombarding Gen Z, and they're seeing, well, even if we strive to work for a company, look how easy it is to just get laid off. And the layoffs are coming. I've been talking about this in plenty of videos, and they're going to get worse and worse until something corrects itself, because right now it doesn't look like there's any course correction, and a lot of people are realizing that. It feels like it's Gen Z versus society.
I have a bone to pick with you. And what could it possibly be now? First, you don't want to have kids, and now you're not applying for jobs. Like, your generation is literally awful. What are you talking about? Always complain that everything's so expensive, but you don't want to work. No, we are applying for these jobs, but they're not hiring us because, one, we don't have 10 years of experience, because, you know, how are we supposed to get experience if no one wants to hire us? Or they discriminate us because we're Gen Z and we have a work-life balance mentality. So, like, we're not gonna do 5 people's jobs during minimum wage. Like, you're not gonna pay me one person's salary to do 5 people's job. Well, in my generation, you do what you're told to get paid, and that's how you get higher up in life. Well, in my generation, we're not working ourselves to death. I don't live to work, okay? I work to live, and half the time, I can't even live under these circumstances. Everything's so expensive, but you want us to get these corporate jobs, but we're not getting hired. So what do you want us to do about it? Okay, but sometimes we have to sacrifice things in our life for our job. Yeah, no, we don't. Listen, these corporations need employees, so you're gonna have to, suck it up and do what you're supposed to be doing in society. Or you can tell these corporations to start treating their employees more fairly, because right now, all you guys are hiring boomers, and they're gonna die off soon. So you're not gonna have anyone working for you. So I think the corporations and the government has to switch their mentality to help society. So when that happens, you come find me. Thanks.
And maybe that's the point. Maybe the companies don't want to change. They don't want to pay people more. They don't want to give people affordable wages and livable wages that they can actually have a family, be able to afford a home themselves. But I don't know, these are just thoughts that I'm going down for a while, and it does feel interesting because although I am a millennial, I relate a lot to the Gen Z generation because I see a lot of the same struggles that we had to deal with in them as well. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and also leave your thoughts about this video subject, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.